Bring in the NASCAR Nationwide Series driver Jason Leffler. Top of the morning, Jason.
Top of the morning to you guys. What's happening?
How are you, Jace?
I'm doing great. Glad to be on the hotline. Sounds important.
It is important. It's always important when you call. We always are looking forward to what kind of commentary and analysis you can provide. Lord knows you got a lot of commentary and analysis to provide after the Cup race. We'll get to the Nationwide race in a second. What do you think about all those shenanigans there at Darlington after the Southern 500 on Saturday night?
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I was first of all, it was cool to see Regan Smith get his first win, but all that stuff that happened afterwards was entertaining. Fans had to like it. I was wondering how long it was going to take Harvick to get out of his car. It seemed like it took him a long time. I understand it was a long race, but I'm not sure how quick he was going to get out of that thing. He kept looking in his rearview mirror, but I don't know. And Kyle Busch's transmission was broke. That's what he said. So it was pretty wild.
Let me ask you what I've been asking other drivers about this, Jason. Since boys have at it, have you changed your driving style at all? Has it impacted your approach to racing since that mantra was thrown out there by Robin Pemberton?
Not really. I mean, yeah, obviously they had some problems on the racetrack during the race, and then obviously it escalated to what you saw afterwards. But all drivers are aggressive, and if you feel like someone's trying to take advantage of you or not racing you the right way, you're going to pay them back. That's the result you have. I want to see these guys throw some punches, though. They get out and mouth off, and throw their hands. I want to see some real action after the race.
Now, really? Now,
why not?
Have you had thoughts about doing that yourself?
No, but if someone's – let me tell you something. I'm a little guy. But if someone comes sticking their head in my window, which I didn't see that the other night, but if someone ever stuck their head in the window, no matter who it is, they better be prepared. So, and that's not a warning. That's just a comment I'm throwing out there. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's fun. I think it's great. The fans got to enjoy it. It's definitely entertaining. So, it was great to see Regan win. That was exciting in itself. And then between Harvick and Kyle, that was even more exciting.
Is there a code that drivers operate by? I mean, are there certain things you just said, don't come over to my window, trying to get in there and all that stuff? Is there a code that drivers operate by, that you operate by, certain things that people can do and it'd be okay and we'll deal with it, but certain things you don't do, or if you do, we got to talk, and it may not be all that pleasant when we chat.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you saw the other night, that escalated for something. That escalated for something else, whether it was Homestead last year or problems they've had on the racetrack. I mean, I think drivers, if you have an incident with somebody and it's the first time, and you raced around each other all the time, so you're bound to have a problem with about everybody on the track. So most drivers are pretty easygoing about that, but if it happens more than once or multiple times, then that's when the problem, that's when you'll see drivers do something about it. And so, I mean, I don't know what their history is. I've seen some of it on TV. That's the only reason I thought maybe it escalated from something else. But, yeah, there's probably a code. I think most drivers are pretty easygoing. If it happens once, they always say, shame on you. It happens again, shame on me,
Is there any fear at all that this is starting to escalate a little too far in terms of not just with Kyle and Kevin, but just kind of in general with this boys have at it?
No, I mean, I think if you I don't think so at all. I mean, if that's what's you can look at it from both ways. You can say it's a lack of respect, or people are trying to gain each other's respect back. Because it used to be back in the day, if someone ran into you, you better watch out, and or if someone crashed you and took your race away, you better watch out. It's kind of an eye for an eye, and that kind of went away, and now it's starting to come back. So, I mean, if I crash somebody, and he crashes me back, it's that's the way it is. I expect a retaliation, or I expect a payback, if I do something dumb.
All right, let's back up a day from the Showtime Southern 500 to the Royal Purple 200 for the Nationwide Series. Tell us about your night in Darlington.
It was okay. It was fine. We ended up ninth. You know, we had a couple miscues on pit road, and it had a spring come out of the bucket there, our second run, and so we ended up ninth, and it was a good recovery because we started way back on that last restart. So it was a decent day. We're just still trying to get better and better, you know, and get up there where we can contend for some wins, and getting a, you know, every week we're losing a few points to the championship leaders, but we're still right there. So it's been a good year so far. It's been solid. So we're just trying to get our cars a little better.
What was that racetrack like to drive on? You know, tire wear. I again saw people take 2 tires, which I thought I'd never see at Darlington.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's something you're able to do, you know, since they repaved it. But yeah, I mean, you know, but before they repaved it, you would have never thought about doing that. So we did it early on and got some track position. It helped, and then we had a pit stop there where the spring fell out of the bucket and kind of got us way behind. But yeah, I mean, you would have never thought about taking 2 tires, you know, before they repaved the place. And actually, it's starting to come back the other way. You know, it's starting every year we go there, it starts to lose more and more grip now, and the tire wear is becoming more of an issue, which is good. Can't wait for the day when it comes back to the old Darlington where you got to pit for tires every time the caution comes out.
Now, conversely, talk about tire wear Saturday when you guys tackled the Monster Mile.
Yeah, you don't know what we're gonna have. Nobody does till we show up there. But I mean, you know, the Craftsman, or excuse me, the Camping World trucks are on the track before us, which will help tire wear. You know, in the Nationwide Series, what a lot of people don't realize is we get a 2.5-hour practice session, but we only get 1 set of tires. So if you go out there and run 20 laps straight, your tires at some of these places could be down to the cords, and you're done. Your practice is done because you can't really afford to put another set of tires on, and then you'll be a set short for the race. So at the beginning of practice, that's why you don't see a lot of people shoot out there right away. You know, you kind of let some of the rookies go, and then they'll look at their tire wear and then go from there. But having the trucks on the track before us will help.
Now, as far as a 200-mile race at Dover, obviously 200 miles, 200 laps. Like Darlington, there's not a lot of time to get the job done. How important is qualifying up front, starting up front, and staying up front and not getting in the back of the pack and run the risk of running a lap down in this very quick race?
Yeah, I mean, you want to start up front. You want to start in the top 10 for sure. Yeah, you can go a lap down easily there, especially with Kyle Busch. He's firing off on the front row, or Carl Edwards, or those guys. So you got to be on your game. And yeah, there's not much riding around, especially at Dover. It's a quick race. Those 200 laps go by quick, and you don't have any time to recover if you have a slow start.
Keys to getting around there, Jason. What kind of a race car do you have to have in order to be there at the end and challenge for a win?
I mean, you just got to obviously have a fast race car. That sounds funny, but it sounds pretty simple, but it's true. You got to have a car that turns, but doesn't get loose. You know, you got to have a lot of grip, and a long run car, it seems like, because we do have a lot of long runs there. You know, we have a few cautions usually at the beginning and a few at the end, but through the middle part of the race, it's a long green flag stretch.
I've heard this Bristol on steroids thing from a lot of guys. Is that right? Is that how you see Dover?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dover has been this way for a long time. Bristol, since they redid it. Yeah, I mean, they are very comparable now. So you run almost the same setup, run the same line. You know, although Dover, Bristol, you can run up the track, and you usually have 2 or 3 grooves. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely very, very comparable to Bristol.
Update on your open wheel effort there. A lot of folks asking when they can expect to see you back on the open wheel portion of your driving abilities.
Well, yeah, it's we're planning on running ORP in Kroger Speed Fest the week of the nationwide race up there. They got a lot of racing going on now at ORP that week. You know, between the USAC midgets, USAC Silver Crown cars, and the ARCA series, all in one day on Thursday. So it's a great week of racing, and then the Brickyard going on down the road. It's always a great atmosphere. But yeah, I don't have anything planned really quick. or soon, excuse me, because we're just busy with the nationwide program testing and all that. So I don't know. I wish I had more time to do it.
I know you're busy, and you're right. You got a lot going on, but it is the month of May. Do you still keep one eye on what's going on at Indianapolis Motor Speedway this month, Jason?
Absolutely. I'm always excited to watch practice and pole day and all that. There's so much history, and then the fact that it's the Centennial 100th Indianapolis 500 is pretty special. My good buddy Parnelli Jones, who I grew up around, Paige and PJ, his son, and Parnelli gave us a lot of life lessons early on. He's going to drive the Mormon Wasp because he is the oldest living member that has won, or the oldest winning driver still around. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh, that's cool, and also good news that the one and only AJ Foyt's going to drive the pace car for the 500.
Yeah, that's the only thing they got to worry about him is if he won't pull it off when they throw the green flag. He'll go for number 5, So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, there's so much history up there. I mean, that's the month of May is probably the greatest racing month of all year. Between the Coca-Cola 600 and everything that goes on here in Charlotte, and then everything in Indianapolis. It's a lot of fun.
And we can't wait, and we're very happy to be smack dab in the middle of it, albeit this weekend at Dover International Speedway. Safe travels to the first state. Look forward to catching up with you this weekend, and best of luck in the 5-Hour Energy 200 Saturday here at Dover.
All right, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.